Good evening, everyone.
Evening, Miss.
Evening, Miss.
Yes, how are you guys doing?
Good, Miss. You?
I'm good. I see one person is not well, and that's expected with this weather that we've been having. I know a lot of people have been getting sick. So I hope you're all in good health. And for those that aren't feeling so well, thank you for joining the class. And I understand if you're not able to participate. When it rains like this, make sure you're taking your vitamins so that you can work on building up that immune system. Because as students, you guys lose a lot of sleep. And losing sleep does weaken your immune system. So you have to take care of you while you're studying. And I know it's kind of hard with the weather that we're having as well. All right, so tonight we just have a few objectives. I'll be going through just a few of the points from what's expected for the forum. And then the rest of the time will be devoted to our case study presenters. We should have 3 presentations tonight. All right, so we are at Unit 3. And just a reminder for those who weren't able to make it to class on Monday, the materials are all here under Unit 3 Theory for you to go through. The lecture has been recorded. The interactive slides are there with the key terms that we're looking at. And the chapter slides are also there. So in the slides, we ask you to speak about the terminologies. And you'll notice that these are highlighted in your forum. So as you go through these lecture slides from La-Dene and La-Dene, you'll be able to find out what's a structure, what are the business processes, what is politics, culture, environment, and management decisions. Now, this is one of the easier chapters for business students because we're looking at the relationship between organizations and information technology. As business students, this is probably going to be a revision for you. And we look at how information technology as well as organizations influence each other as well as the relationships in and how those are influenced by the organization. When we speak about those relationships, we're referring to these points right here. Whenever I come to this slide, I remember a scenario I had in one of my classes while I was still teaching in Belize City. That year, I had a student, I don't remember his name or what he looks like, but I remember his story. And he shared that he had been applying for study leave and he had finally been given the opportunity to study. So he was excited about class. This student was always in class, always participating, did excellent assignments, and it was a group of students that really pushed each other and motivated each other to do well. And then I didn't see him in one of the classes, and it was a close-knit group of students. So if somebody was missing, everybody would check and find out, okay, what's happening here? Because we had an agreement that nobody would get left behind. So the student showed up a week later and he said to me, Miss Forrester, I was still Miss Forrester at the time. And he said, I applied for leave and that was the reason why I was here. But the story is, I had been applying for leave for more than 6 years now. And my supervisor kept rejecting my bid for leave or my request for leave. So I went above her and I had her supervisor approve, go through my request and the request was granted. He said, the reason why I've been out of class is because she found out and had my request rescinded or my approval rescinded. And I found it very strange that someone would do that. So I inquired some more. He said, if I should be given this opportunity to study and I get the degree that I'm going to be awarded, then I would be up for a promotion. If I got promoted, I would be given the position that she currently has. And this lady only has a few more years before she retires. So she has to ensure that her position and her social security, pension, and everything is safe. Now, in a situation like that, which of these do you see coming up? Is it structure, business processes, politics, culture, environment, or management decisions?
Management decisions.
Okay, tell me why you think it's management decisions that you see being highlighted there.
Well, based on the correspondence that you indicated that this individual was receiving a rejection for a leave, it indicates that the management was lacking some fundamental of responsibility and dignity towards an individual, and showing that capacity towards a person through management can show how poor your decision making is.
Okay, very good. How many of you agree with this? Okay, you're thinking. Another aspect that it also highlights, and that's a good observation, we also see some politics. And when I say politics, we're not referring to party politics like UDP or PUP or any of the Ps. But here we're looking at different viewpoints. And sometimes we have conflicts within an organization because we have different views. You will see in teams that persons will reject your request to improve or implement an information system simply because they have a different view from you. Perhaps it might be that they believe that the pen and paper method is the best way to go. And using information technology goes against what they see as a necessity to invest in. So as we go through this unit and as you spend the time going through, you will learn the importance of these as it relates to the organization and the relationship between that and information technology. Now, I know the scenario I shared doesn't speak of information technology, but in many cases, the proposal is for investment in technologies, and management often rejects those requests because of their personal views or the culture that has been created, processes that have been implemented, or the structure. When you go through the slides, you'll be able to learn about each of these. And you'll be able to also see the different types of structures. For instance, here, we are able to see the entrepreneurial, the bureaucracies. There are 3 different types that are mentioned here, as well as the adhocracies. The chapter goes on to speak about the economic impacts. So you will spend your time going through these in order to respond to forum number 3. Before we go on to our presenters, I'm going to quickly go through the attendance. So if you're here, just quickly respond, and then our presenters will share their screen right after. Tyler? Melanie?
I'm here, Mom. Good night.
Juan?
Present, ma'am.
Santiago?
Present, miss.
Haley? Beyonce?
Miss Leon says she not feel good.
Thank you. Araceli? Alyssa?
Present.
Kyler?
Here, Miss.
Ronell? Daniel?
Present.
Kenroy?
Here, Miss. Here.
Fidel,
Present, Miss.
Ivani,
Present.
Dijon,
Present, Miss.
Miriam,
Here, Miss.
Kyra,
Good night. Here, Miss.
Sophia,
Here, Miss.
Chelsea,
Here, Miss.
Cheyenne, Jenny,
Present, Miss.
Kenya,
Here, Miss.
Xiomara,
Here, Miss.
Brandon, Anthony.
Zion, what beer honey and
I'm hearing
Here, Miss.
somebody's mic. It's Anthony,
Here, Miss.
Martha,
Here, Miss.
Shamika,
Here.
Kerwin,
Here, Miss.
Sandra,
Present.
Vashti,
Here.
Kian,
Here, Miss.
Randine. All right, the persons I have marked absent are Tyler, Kaylee, Araceli, Ronell.
Miss Tyler. Tyler said that he's here, but his mic isn't working.
Okay, thank you. So it's Kaylee, Araceli, Ronell, Cheyenne, and Brandon.
Brandon is present, Miss. Sorry. Right here.
All right. So the others are absent. Okay. So tonight's first presenter is going to be Daniel, followed by Ken Roy, and then Ivani.
Can I go ahead and share my screen?
Sure.
Good night, everyone. Tonight I'll be presenting on Walmart's retail link supply chain case study. My name is Daniel Mangar. So a summary of the case study. This case study is an introduction to Walmart's retail link system, which is one of the largest business-to-business supply chain systems in the world. Retail link connects consumer purchase data to the Walmart purchasing system and to the vendor supply system. Retail link plays a key role in Walmart's corporate strategy to become the dominant low-cost provider for retail goods. So Walmart is one of the largest, when we talk about business to business, it's just having one Walmart store and then having another Walmart store across, because Walmart has approximately 60,000 stores worldwide, and it's very challenging to incorporate a productive system that meets the supply and the demand for customers within the store. So Walmart developed a retail link that connects consumer purchase data to Walmart purchasing system. So where does Walmart's supply chain start? What triggers Walmart's retail link system to ship goods to local Walmart stores? Walmart's supply chain starts with its application of network technology that is used to coordinate it. There are more than 60,000 suppliers worldwide, the largest in the world. Retail Link connects Walmart's largest suppliers to its own inventory management system and requires them to track actual sales. When they do this, the suppliers then know when to replenish supplies based on the demand record. So Walmart does not always purchase and continue purchasing products from their suppliers. Walmart created this link chain that incorporates an attributed system that shows suppliers when a product is actually needed within the store, so that they don't have to over supply the store or have lesser of a demand. They can meet the standard of the demand and supply within the store and not having to always wasting the product or having products being shipped and not being sold. It's a connected link between the supplier and the stores that helps coordinate a function that would not oversee any sort of overdose in supply or lesser of a demand. Why is a detailed knowledge of consumer purchases at each store important to Walmart's success? In order to know which products to order from suppliers and have in stock, Walmart must have access to information about consumer purchases. If Walmart does not have enough of a product in demand, consumers will seek other businesses to buy their goods from, and Walmart will lose customer loyalty and money. On the other hand, if Walmart orders too much of a good, it will also lose money due to inventory that is not being purchased. So it's just like I have mentioned before, there's the suppliers that supply the stores, and if it does not have enough of a product in demand, consumer will seek other businesses to buy their products from. And with this, Walmart can also lose their loyalty and they will lose millions of dollars in goods. Why can't other large retailers easily duplicate Walmart's retail link? It would be difficult to duplicate Walmart's retail link because other retailers do not have access to the same resources and supplier relationships that Walmart has. Though its electronic data interchange-based system chain management, Walmart has a strong influence on all of its suppliers by requiring them to use the network to respond to orders and to track actual sales in order to replenish supplies according to demand. This influence also allowed Walmart to ensure that it does not pay for the goods until they reach the store. The capabilities of the system would be difficult for any other retailer to copy, especially if they do not have the ability to directly link their inventory management systems directly over the internet as Walmart does. Why does Walmart encourage its vendors to learn how to use Retail Link? Walmart encourages its vendors to learn how to use the Retail Link because it makes it easier on the company itself. The replenishment of supplies is dictated by the demand recorded through Retail Link's inventory management. It also means that Walmart does not own the goods until they arrive and have been shelved. This removes liability on Walmart because they are not responsible for lost or damaged goods. In addition, using Retail Link means they do not have the manual management supplies. When supplies are needed, they will be delivered. It was really hard trying to find businesses in Belize that actually relates to a Retail Link that Walmart has. but I did some research and there's not much that can be found within Belize. Like, for example, we have Caribbean Chicken, CPBL, Caribbean Motors, Caribbean Tires, Quality Poultry. These are all companies that, for example, I would turn first to Caribbean Chicken and Quality Poultry. They basically produce and distribute their own products. So it's more like of a business to consumer, and it's still a supplier to business because they still do create their own inventory, and they know when a demand is needed and how to track that demand and to meet the demand, and also have the supplies within the store at a specific time, distributing within an order management. All of these fall similar to the retail link that Walmart uses. CPBL also uses these link between, it's more of a business to consumer or a business to retailer situation with CPBL, because CPBL would supply local stores. It would not supply its own stores or supply different branches within the region. Then we have Caribbean Motors and Caribbean Tires. We would look more towards importation when it comes to these companies, but when we talk about Caribbean Tires, they would import certain inventory and distribute within the different branches within Belize. Like there's a branch in Punta Gorda, Orange Walk, Belize City. All of these different branches would receive the same inventory as each other branches and coordinate together. Like I mentioned, all these businesses have the alternative relationship to business to consumer, where some have relationships to business chain links or supply links. Thank you for your attention. Does anyone have any question that I could address or try to address?
Very good job, Daniel. How did you benefit from doing this research?
It's actually an open concept, and I really like this chain link because at first I thought that this is not something that we use within Belize. This is not something that we can coordinate within Belize, but when I actually dig deeper and looked at it, at how Quality Poultry actually use that system, because I always think, how do they actually know when to bring more chicken into a district to be sold? Like, and then how do they know when a certain amount or when this certain type of, like the cuts or the legs or the wings, how do they know these demands are being met with the supplies that they are offering? And that was actually one of the real causes that triggered me into looking more into this concept than just reading about it.
Yes, it sounds like you were very invested, and that's really good. How do you see this technology adding value to other organizations? Now, I know you mentioned a few, but let's try to apply it to another organization class. How do you see it adding value to other organizations, apart from the ones that Daniel mentioned? Yes, Santiago?
It's a mistake, ma'am.
Okay. So while you guys are thinking about that, I want to ask Daniel to go ahead and share some of the key takeaways he wanted you to remember from his presentation. He did a very good presentation. what are some things that you want the class to remember?
Key takeaways would be that if you choose to open a business one day, do not always be the concept of having one branch, having more than one. It's always to provide employment, and it's to be innovative with technology. As we advance through the modernization of the 21st century, I see information technology as the new leading capability within this stage. And just like it's said in the case study, business to business is one of the most important chain links, and business to consumer is one of the most subordinating chain links that contribute to a business chain link, which is finding the correct product and putting it into the market that you can have a contribution to society, where you can always meet the demand and supply within an environment. It's not only about coordinating for a specific amount of group, it's about coordinating for the entire, like as Walmart did, they're a store where you can purchase everything and anything, and they're always having the supply to meet the demand.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. All right, let's get ready for our second presenter. And guys, when the presenters have shared, it's okay to give them feedback, or some kind of encouragement for them to know that you benefited from their presentation. They did quite a bit of work to prepare. And so your feedback always helps. All right, so
Me?
yes, go ahead, Karen.
I just wanted to add something quick. Maybe one of my classmates know the program that they use, but this week I saw that I was in the store and I saw Running W selling their products, but they use their tablet and their receipt is automatically printed right in front of the store. And I asked the guy, but he didn't answer me. And I asked him what application did they use to do that. But same time, somebody else came in and he got distracted and he didn't answer me. But I believe that is a way how they would know to how much product per district they would be able to sell, no? I don't know if maybe anybody have seen it. But if not, if I can see them next week, I will surely ask him again. But I know it's a program that they use for that.
Okay, that's a good observation, Karen. And if you get the name of the system, please feel free to share it with the class. That is a step forward for Running W, and I'm sure it saves time, and as well, the data can be used to help them to reduce waste and also to ensure that they're meeting the customer demand for the different products and services. So
Yes,
very good observation. All right, so you say Karen is taking her knowledge and she's applying it in her day-to-day activities. And when you spot any of these, if they come to mind, just share them with the class because we can all benefit from it. All right, thank you. So now we have our second presenter, and you can go ahead and share your screen. Oh, Daniel, please remember to share the link to your presentation in the Excel sheet.
Yes, I will.
Yes.
All right, good night. Good night, Miss. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
All right, my name is Kenra Mariano, and tonight I will be presenting on Duke uses cloud computing and sensor to build a smarter city. All right, I will be giving a background on Dubuque. Dubuque is a city located in Iowa, USA. This city has implicated implemented software programs with the objective of lower cost-saving measures. First question, why is the cloud computing in cities like Dubuque why is the cloud important to cities like Dubuque as they pursue their vision of a smarter city? Cloud computing means that city will experience much lower IT costs than the traditional hardware and software installation owned and operated by cities, or from proprietary data center. Cloud computing supports software as a service and eliminates the need for a city to purchase or operate data center. What do Dubuque officials means when they talk about a smarter city? Smarter city means a city where thousands of sensors are distributed across the city, including in homes which sense data on water, energy, and travel facility used to a cloud computing facility. Software then analyze this data and return useful information to city's officials and pilot homeowners, schools, businesses, etc. List the major smart cities project in Dubuque, what has been done to impact of the Smarter Domestic Water Program. Smarter water, natural gas, electric, travel, and health. Impact has been a reduction in water usage and leakage. 25% of all domestic water in the country was lost through water leakage in the water line supply. Smarter water helps the city to achieve a 6.6 reduction in usage and an 8-fold increase in leak detection. What is the Dubuque next move now that they have developed some successful pilot projects like the water program and electrical program? Officials hope to integrate these silos, water, electricity, travel, and gas usage, into unified whole smart system to analyze relationship amongst each of the silos. For instance of very poor utilization of resources may occur in certain neighborhoods, but not others, suggesting a community plan program. How is the approach taken in Portland similar or different to the approach in Dubuque? As seen on the diagram, Dubuque and Portland has similar partner with the IBM. The difference from Dubuque is that they are building a large data bank, whilst Portland is using the data gathered from planning for decision makers. The final difference represented is that Dubuque is gathering, analyze different elements as mentioned before to find relationship amongst them. Portland is using data to understand the implication of decision making. And that comes to the end of my presentation.
All right. I don't know what you thought about his presentation, but I think it was a very well put together presentation. And he made some very valid points. It actually builds on what we were speaking about last class when we looked at Amazon Go. And we said some of the things that would hinder an opportunity like that in Belize is the fact that we don't have some of the infrastructure. So in looking at smarter cities, we would have the technologies put in place to ensure that life would be made a lot easier for us. Kenroy, what did you find most interesting as you did this assignment?
Miss, I actually find interested that The iCloud system developed and used by Dubuque has the ability to provide important data for decision making. I also found out that the iCloud system can address energy conservation measurement and that are important for future use, no?
What do you want the class to remember now that you've shared this presentation? Because it seems that some of it, the content might have flown over a few persons' heads. So what would you want them to remember now that you've shared this presentation?
Well, Miss, I believe that it gave me an insight of how important information technology is and how far technology can be and how far technology can reach.
Thank you, Kenroy. And so with smarter cities, we would be able to have quite a bit of data that could help us to improve our infrastructure, the way we operate. Right now, persons are using the same sensors to build smart homes. So while you're here or while you're at work, you can start your washing machine at home. You can use your apps to turn on your lights. You can use a key fob to open your house door or open your car, you know, and with all of these sensors, they will begin to track your patterns. So the sensor would be able to determine, okay, Kyra gets up at 7 in the morning. Anthony returns home at 6 every evening. So because he normally comes home at 6 and I know that it gets dark at 5:30, the house knows it needs to turn on the light. So from the data that's being collected, these can help to predict patterns that can make your life easier. And businesses can also use this. They will notice that Kian is an employee who is normally on time, and she arrives 30 minutes before opening time every day of the week. So when it comes to determining patterns, if she happens to be late once, it's going to say that something is out of the norm, but the data is also there so that management can use it to decide, okay, she's an excellent candidate for promotion because of certain factors. And these are some of the things that we can consider in our future as we continue to study the impact of information technology as well as organizations. I know you're business students, so you aren't as excited. Some of you aren't as excited about the IT component, but we have one more presentation for you tonight. So I'm going to ask that presenter to share her screen.
Good night, everyone. Today I will be talking about how digital technology helps Crayola brighten its brand. Starting off with the summary, the popularity of Crayola crayons was under assault because of changing times. Digital products are starting to supplant physical ones in the world of children's play as well as in other areas of work and everyday life. The organization restructured around consumer insights and needs rather than specific product lines. Crayola has reframed its business model, introduced a new innovation process for product development, and created new products and revenue streams. The company now offers a new range of products like the iMarker, an all-in-one digital pen, crayon, and pencil designed for use with the Color Studio HD iPad app. Light Camera Color is another digital application that allows kids to turn their favorite photos into digital coloring book pages. Tech toys such as the Digital Light Designer, a 360-degree dome drawing surface, encourages imaginations to run wild with colored LED lights. Crayola also had to change the way it markets its products as well as the products themselves, and has been investing more in digital marketing. Thanks to its new array of products and services, Crayola has experienced better growth. Question number 1. Analyze Crayola's problem. What management, organization, and technology factors contributed to the problem? Starting with management, with the advent of computers and web-based learning, children are leaving behind handheld art supplies at an increasingly younger age. As children reach the age of 4 or 5, when they become old enough to play with a computer, they become less interested in toys and crayons in favor of electronics like digital tablets and smartphones. Organization. The traditional box of Crayola crayons is under assault, like I stated before in the summary, not by Crayola's traditional competitors, but by changing times. There has been a profound technological and cultural shift in how children play. Children and their families are being bombarded with increasingly sophisticated forms of entertainment, many of them being digitally based. So other businesses were not a problem for Crayola, they just had to adapt to new changes. Now, technology. Development in technology have led the children to indulge in more and more of the digital world and using less of the real world toys and games. Kids would rather play games on iPad instead of coloring. Digital products are starting to supplant physical ones in the world of children's play, as well as in other areas of work and everyday life. Question number 2. What competitive strategies is Crayola pursuing? How does digital technology support those strategies? Crayola has reframed its business model by introducing a new innovation process for product development and created new products and revenue streams. The company has been transformed from a manufacturer of crayons and art tools into a trusted source of tools and experiences for creative play. This is a competitive advantage in the market. Crayola is using digital technology, but not to replace its core crayon business. Instead, it's integrating the old and the new. The organization also restructures around consumer insights and needs rather than specific product lines. They try to create something that they know customers would want. For example, parents are looking for toys that are less messy than traditional markers or finger paints. Digital technology supports this, for the digital toys are mess-proof. Question 3, what people issues did Crayola have to address in designing its new technology-based products? Crayola had to address that the company's new digital toys are 100% mess-proof, and technology has helped Crayola make its other products less messy as well. Secondly, the company understands how digital technology can play a part in different ages. What they did was target My First Crayola line specifically for 1-year-olds, while Crayola Catwalk Creation is designed for tweens 9 to 12-year-old girls who like expressing themselves through fashion. Lastly, the company website has been thoughtfully designed for children, parents, and educators. Crayola's core parent audience is turning to the web for gift and usage ideas, comparing prices and reading reviews before making purchases. Crayola wants to be first in mind as a source of $20 artsy toys and mess-proof gifts. Now all of these Crayola products can be available online. Lastly, question 4, how has digital technology changed Crayola's business model and the way it runs its business? Crayola changed the way it markets its products, for the company now uses online advertising, promotions, social media pushes, and other digital activation programs that allow Crayola to connect with parents and educators invested in raising children's creativity level. Social media has proven especially effective, and Crayola has a presence on Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, Twitter, and Instagram. Crayola's YouTube channel features colorful videos on Crayola products and instructions for creative projects where they can be used. The company's Facebook presence features a live chat series with experts and creative celebrities called Inside the Crayon Box. Crayola has been investing more and more in digital marketing because of its new array of products and services. Crayola has experienced better growth, and its future looks as bright as the vibrant colors of its iconic style. Relation to Belize context. Around the world, many companies are adapting to digital technology. Belize faces many challenges regarding the digital transformation of its government and economy. The National Digital Agenda, which was approved by Cabinet in December 2021, aims at developing the enabling framework for Belize's digital transformation, including cybersecurity, information management systems, digital identity, and creation and development of ICT skills within the public and private sector. Evidence demonstrates that digital technology drives innovation and improves business performance in terms of sales, employment, and productivity, like the selling of clothes. Because of COVID, many businesses had to find a way how to make money online. So the people selling clothes decided to advertise this online using digital technology. You know, they can just order what they want and it can be delivered at their home, which made the sellers gain more customers. Belizean micro, small, and medium enterprises are relatively less prepared for the digital age than their counterparts in Latin America and the Caribbean. Innovation within digital technologies is limited in Belize. Only 1.6% of firms in the sample reported that their enterprises introduced methods for information processing and communication. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ivani. Class, what did you think about her presentation?
Miss, I feel like it's really relatable because I was thinking just now how easier, like she said, anybody who comes up with a business now, how they have social media and, you know, so their advantage to advertise their product and push their product, that you could Google any list of products at your fingertips, you could get reviews, you know. And I feel like back in the days when maybe they only had newspapers or radios and such to advertise their products, a brand really had to like build and get, you know, a home or homes to trust their brands and their names and their products and such. They really had to work for that. As opposed to now, if I want to check out a blender from maybe Oster product, I could just go on Amazon, I could go read the reviews and, you know, have an idea more or less that, okay, I'll try it, you know, based on the reviews, or I could go Google another one or another product. And so I feel like now companies and, you know, people have it much more easier as opposed to back then. I feel like back then you really had to work hard in getting your product out there and letting it be a trusted name and such. So I felt like her presentation was really relatable when I thought about it.
Thank you, Xiomara. Anybody else wants to add?
Good night, Miss.
Good night.
I really liked the presentation and I was drawn to it. It shows where Crayola really came from, and it made me think back. I'm pretty old. I'm much older than, I guess, a lot of people in the class. So it took me back to my younger days when we used to have crayon and coloring book. It was me and my best friend, one on each side of the page, coloring and trying to see which colors we would put the teddy bear and what colors we would use on the flowers and stuff like that. It shows us where they are now in the development of technology, that it's no longer a crayon and a coloring book that you have, and you'll have pages to flip through and pick color every day. It's now on a tablet or on a phone or laptop that you can just use a pen, use your mouse and color away. So it really took me back to those days.
Thank you, Kyler. Anybody else wants to share?